Hi, everyone. Hello and happy new year. So glad to see you in this brand new year on this brand new Wednesday. Hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday, and I'm so happy that you got to tune in with me today. And if you couldn't tune in when the stream was live, I'm so happy you got to watch it later. So today's topic: 5 ways to write an exceptional dental assistant resume. So last week, we talked about resume writing tips for a dental hygienist resume, and today we're talking about a dental assistant resume. So we've got 5 ways to write an exceptional dental assistant resume, along with a few other extra tips and information and resources and tools to help you create that resume and get started on your job search process. Okay. But of course, before we get into that, just want to remind everyone that each week Princess Dental Staffing is bringing you a new live stream regarding a new topic about your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you like the content we're bringing you, drop us a like. And if you want to be part of the conversation, drop a comment, questions, thoughts, insights, anything to add to the information that we're giving you. For example, today, maybe if you're a hiring manager and you want to talk a little bit about what you like to see or maybe what you don't like to see on dental assistant resumes, go ahead and let us know, okay? Additionally, Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board, and they have positions available for dental receptionists, dental hygienists, dentists, and yes, dental assistants in a lot of different areas: full-time, part-time, temporary, and permanent roles. So if you have some time today, hop on to princessdentalstaffing.com and see what positions they have available in your area. And then hopefully after today, if you're a dental assistant, you'll have some great tips and information on how to create a resume so that you can apply for those jobs. Additionally, on princessdentalstaffing.com, you can also create a profile and get your information in front of hiring managers. And of course, you can use that content from the resume that you're going to create, hopefully. And you can also take a look at their blog, which covers a lot of the topics that we cover in these live streams. So hop on there today, princessdentalstaffing.com. Okay. Alrighty. So let's get into the resume writing guidelines, the best ways to write your dental assistant resume. Number one, let's start with the format. Let's go over the basics, okay? To make sure that we are creating a really strong foundation to create your dental assistant resume, okay? So first of all, reverse chronological format. Okay, now I know there are different resume formats, and depending on the situation and the industry, you may want to use a different format. But most industries, up to and including the dental industry, up to and including dental assistant resumes, you're generally going to want to use a reverse chronological format, okay? Even if it is an entry-level role that you are applying for, even if you don't have any experience as a dental assistant, reverse chronological is going to be your best bet, okay? Font. Arial and Cambria are good fonts to use. You can always also use Calibri or Times New Roman. I use Calibri quite a bit, but Arial, Cambria, really great fonts. 10 to 12 point size, okay? I would not go above 12. It just gets a little bit too big, and wouldn't go below 10 because then you're just going to have your potential employers squinting at the screen to see what it is they're trying to read, okay? So make sure you put white spaces between the different sections on your resume so it's not all squished together, because that can create a really copy heavy, what we call a copy heavy resume, meaning copy heaviness basically refers to large blocks of type. Just gets a little bit overwhelming to the eye to read, okay? And you want to make sure that your resume is lending to easy readability. So put those white spaces between those sections and use 1-inch margins. So 1-inch margins on your document is the default. If you are a little pressed for room, you can go down to 1/2 inch, but generally 1 inch is the standard. You can also create a one-page resume. Now, if you can create a one-page resume without sacrificing content, it's always a good idea. 1 to 2 pages is the standard, okay? But if you can create a one-page resume, that's great. Generally, the general rule in resume writing is if you have less than 5 years of experience, you want one page. Okay. Additionally, if you only have one, maybe two jobs to list on your resume, whether that's more than 5 years or less than 5 years, generally you also want a one-page resume. Okay. So like if you were in at one place for like 15 years, generally you're still going to have a one-page resume. Now, if it's more than 5 pages and you have more than two roles to list on your resume, you might want to go to 2 pages, okay? Because you definitely want to include the content, right? Don't want to sacrifice the content on your resume, okay? Because that's what's going to get you to the interview portion of the application process, okay? And lastly, you want to include a header, an objective, experience, education, and skills section on your resume. You want these 5 sections, okay? You can also have additional sections, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in this video, in the stream rather, but you definitely want your header, your objective, your experience, your education, and your skills sections, okay? So that was number 1, starting with the best format. I know that was a lot, but you definitely want to build a strong foundation, okay? Number 2, create a catchy objective or summary. So your objective statement or your resume summary or your career summary, it's got a lot of different names, but basically your introductory paragraph, okay? Usually comes after your header, right? So your header is your name and your contact information, and then you want your introduction, your objective, your summary, whatever you want to call it, okay? So just some guidelines for writing that. You want to use 1 to 2 objectives. You don't want to fill it with, or excuse me, not objectives, adjectives, excuse me. You don't want to overfill your objective with adjectives, okay? Then it just gets a little bit fluffy, okay? It's just got a little bit too much content, a little too fluffy, and it's not as relevant, okay? The adjectives aren't as relevant as the qualifications and credentials, okay? So 1 to 2 adjectives is usually more than enough. Include the job title, dental assistant, right? Your years of experience, how you'll assist, and your best accomplishments, okay? Alrighty, so let's do an example that kind of uses all of those different, that combines all of those different elements into a really excellent and impactful introduction, okay? Efficient and friendly dental assistant, skilled in forehand dentistry and procedure preparation. As a dental assistant, receive frequent commendations from doctors Jones and Smith for efficient procedure preparation. Scored X percentage on, whatever exam and whatever exam or license or whatever. Okay, so with that example, we've got 2 adjectives, efficient and friendly. You see how it wasn't too much, but not too little? Efficient and friendly. Dental assistant, we got the job title. We've got some key skills and experiences here, forehanded dentistry, procedure preparation, and some of their best accomplishments are commendations and their scores as well. On like the exams and commendations and testimonials from their previous doctors. Okay. Can you see how that's impactful? Can you see how that really can potentially make a potential employer want to continue to read your resume, right? With that just introductory paragraph, which is only 3 sentences, not that long. It's a nice little elevator pitch. So when you go to write this introduction, think about what sets you apart from the stack. Think about what you bring to the table and what you're really great at and what you're best at, and let that guide what you include in your introductory paragraph. Okay? All right. Number 3, don't forget sections for skills and the positions that you have held. Again, you want your experience and you want a skills section. Okay? Because potential employers want to see not just that you worked as a dental assistant. I mean, if I see on your resume that you worked as a dental assistant, I can assume a lot of things, but you never want to assume, especially as a potential employer, you never want to assume that someone has the skills just because they had the title, okay? So make sure you delve a little bit into the position, what your job duties were and tasks, what your accomplishments were, where you went above and beyond, and those sorts of things. And make sure you're demonstrating those skills as well. Okay, so in terms of your tasks and responsibilities, some of the things that you're going to want to include on a dental assistant resume are learning more about the needs of the dentist, listing the skills and responsibilities that you see on the job posting, reflecting a time when you completed those tasks and responsibilities, or when you use those specific skills. And if you can include metrics, amounts, dollar amounts, percentages, timeframes, all those sorts of things, that can really help quantify your experience to potential employers. Okay. So take a look at the job posting, see what keywords and phrases there are, look at the qualifications, the responsibility sections, and integrate that into your resume. Okay. For example, providing patient care, handling dental x-rays, assisting in dental procedures, scheduling appointments, billing and record keeping. These are pretty standard tasks and responsibilities for dental assistants, okay? So you're gonna wanna include those sorts of things in your skills and experience sections, okay? Number 4, make your education a reason to hire you. So make sure you're including your education, especially if it's related to dentistry. You know, a dental degree is optional to apply for positions as a dental assistant. So if you have that education, then, you know, be sure to include that and really highlight that. Okay, and lastly, number 5, create a resume with bonus sections. Okay, so if you have bonus sections, go ahead and add them. You're not just limited to introduction, experience, education, and skills section. Okay, you can absolutely include bonus sections. Just make sure that the information that you're including is relevant and related to dental assisting. Okay, for example, certifications and licenses, additional activities. So things like you know, hobbies, especially again if they're related to dental assisting. Like for example, guitar playing demonstrates manual dexterity, right? Those sorts of things. Freelance work, conferences, volunteer experience, again, as related to dental assisting, but it could also be related to the relevant skill set as well. For example, if you volunteered and had to use a lot of customer service skills or interpersonal skills, that's great. Go ahead and include that on your resume and your volunteer experience. Continuing education, foreign languages, honors, awards, publications, professional associations such as the ADAA, all great options to include on your resume to really demonstrate your qualifications and your why the potential employer should hire you or interview you, right? Okay, so those were the 5 ways to really create an exceptional dental assisting resume. Let's talk about some other tips, okay? First of all, showcase your knowledge of dental care. Make sure that you're using industry jargon and dental terminology in your resume, okay? Not only does that show that you know what those terms and phrases mean, but it also helps demonstrate your knowledge, right, on the subject of dentistry and dental assisting. It helps let potential employers know that you know your stuff, right? Really kind of helps demonstrate your knowledge through your resume. Okay. Number 2, highlight your communication and patient skills. Again, and I've said this so many times in dentistry and in the dental industry, soft skills and hard or technical skills are just as important, right? Because it is a very technical field, but you're also working very closely and routinely with people. So those soft skills are really needed as well. So don't skimp on those communication and patient care skills. Make sure you really demonstrate that, particularly in your experience section. And lastly, number 3, match the resume to the job description. So we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. And, you know, I always get clients who, you know, when I tell them to tailor their resumes, I get sighs and rolled eyes and just exasperated looks, but you definitely want to take the time to do that. This dental office or practice or you know, agency is looking for specific skills. Okay. You want to make sure that your resume is highlighting those skills, right? You want to make sure that you can demonstrate that you have the skills that they are specifically looking for. So you want to make sure that you're taking the time to tailor your resume. Now, some of the easy ways that you can do that are updating your skills section. Skills section is very strategic and important. Because it's easy to just kind of update your keywords and phrases in the skills section to really align with the job posting. Additionally, you know, just really kind of including and weaving in some of those keywords and phrases in your work experience. Also using the job title from the job posting as well in your introduction. okay, in your introductory paragraph. Those are quick and easy ways to keyword optimize your resume, because the last thing I want you to do is spend all day applying for one job, okay? But I also don't want you to apply for 50 jobs using the same resume. It's not going to get you the results that you want, okay? Got a comment. Yes, tailoring the resume is key. Yeah, Heidi, it really is. I cannot stress enough the importance of taking the time to do this, right? It is really, really important. You want to make sure that you are demonstrating your specific skills and abilities in the areas that the potential employer is interested in reading about you, right? Okay, so those are our tips for creating a really, really exceptional dental assisting resume. Now, a few other things that I want to go over, some key skills and proficiencies. Okay, so I've got a list of key skills and proficiencies, and I'm just going to read them to you real quick. Administrative support, certified dental assistant, communication, cosmetic dentistry, dental assisting, dental care, dental hygiene, dental impressions, dentistry, HIPAA, infection control, infection prevention, instrument sterilization, Invisalign, intraoral procedures, oral surgery, OSHA safety, patient education, root canals, restorative dentistry, sterilization, tooth extraction, and x-rays. Why did I just rattle off that list? Why did I just list off all those different proficiencies, etc.? Well, because those are going to be common words and phrases that you're going to find in job postings. Again, another thing that you can do to quickly optimize your resume is to use commonly used terms and phrases, right? And specific areas of expertise. Okay. And the ones that I just read off to you, those are some big ones, right? Those are ones that you're likely going to find in job postings. So make sure that you weave those into your resume, and then hopefully you won't spend as much time keyword optimizing your resume. Okay. Okay, so let's do a quick example of a resume, just to read through it real quick. Okay, so you can kind of see some of these tips and techniques in action. Okay, so this one is an entry-level dental assistant resume. So let's go ahead and read through it real quick. And as I did last week, I'll go ahead and post a link to this blog post, and that way you don't have to memorize everything that I'm just saying, up to and including the list that I just gave you. You can just go back and read through it. Also on that blog post, it's going to have a list of strong action verbs that we recommend that you use in your resume as well. Strong action verbs show that you are a doer and an achiever, so don't skimp on those strong action verbs either. Okay. All right. So this is an entry-level dental assistant resume. Okay. So we're going to start off with your name, your phone number, your email, your address, city, state, and zip code is more than enough for your address. You don't have to put your street address. Okay. But that's going to be your header. And then after that, this job seeker has a professional profile, which reads, a certified dental assistant with expertise in intraoral procedures, patient care, dentistry, and communication. Adept at providing dental professionals with medical support and calming patients during oral surgery and treatments. So, again, a very short, concise, but effective introduction. Lots of keywords and phrases in there. Excellent, excellently done. Okay, and we mentioned that they are a certified dental assistant. Okay, next is going to be your education section. Okay, so with entry level, generally you want the education before the experience because it's going to be more important at this point in your career, right? If you've been in the field for, say, more than 5 years, then you probably want to put your education after your experience. Okay, but the general rule is if the education was obtained less than 5 years ago, go ahead and put it before the experience, okay? So education, you've got the name of the program, name of the school, address, dates attended, okay? And anything else as well, if you, for example, have any, key classes or anything like that that you kind of want to highlight, you can include a short list, okay? Professional experience, you want to include your job title, the company name. You can include the address if you want to, but you don't have to. If you need to save room, don't include the address. And the dates of employment, okay? And then, of course, you want to include your tasks and responsibilities and your accomplishments. Make sure that you are tying your actions to direct results as much as possible, really demonstrating those skills. So, at this point in your career, since this is entry level, you probably don't have, you probably never held the dental assistant job title, right? But that's okay because you can still demonstrate some key skills such as customer service, organizational skills, time management, planning, strategy. Problem solving. These are all great skills that you need as a dental assistant, but that you can get in other positions. So make sure you're really honing in on those, okay? And lastly, this job seeker has a skills section, which includes oral care, patient education, x ray exams, surgical support, intraoral techniques. Um, Whoops. Sorry, I've got my stuff mixed up. Yes, intraoral techniques. Yes, that was the last one. Ha, I'm getting my pages mixed up. So, okay, so we've got a strong list of skills, and again, more keywords and phrases, more information that, or more words and phrases that are probably going to be listed on the job posting, right? And ones that are easily traded out for other skills and key areas of expertise if the job posting says something else that they are looking for. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, so I know that was a lot of information. Again, I'm going to post after this stream posts. I'm going to post a link down below to the blog post so that you can read through more examples. You can read through the list of skills and areas of expertise. You can read through the action verbs and all the great ways that you can really optimize your dental assistant resume and get it ready for your new career in 2023. Okay. Anyways, thanks for being here with me today, everyone. We'll be back next week with a new stream covering your career in the dental industry. But until then, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe out there and have a happy, happy, happy new year. I hope you're starting this new year off right. I will see you soon.